If you hold XRP, you're going to want to get ready for what is coming here. And yes, I do personally believe that this is a fairly urgent matter. If you've been paying attention to any of the news over the last few days here, what you'll absolutely know is it's been an absolute roller coaster. We have billionaire feuds between Donald Trump and Elon Musk causing ripples across the entire market. We have Wall Street going full bull mode on Bitcoin again. And yes, the price of XRP, Bitcoin, they're hitting awesome new prices, right? Bitcoin obviously just hit 111,000 again, absolutely crazy. And generally speaking, when we see a lot of money come into Bitcoin, very soon thereafter, we see some money flow into altcoins as well. It's just what the whales do. They recycle their money from Bitcoin, they put it into XRP, Solana, you name it, so that of course that they can take advantage of the next wave and profit there as well. That's what smart money is doing. We're going to talk about how I'm taking advantage of this, of course, very soon, and some important information that you guys will also probably just want to hear regarding everything I just mentioned. So with that being said, I want to start with BlackRock, okay? Because BlackRock, they're tricky little people. I think that you should probably take nothing that BlackRock says at face value necessarily, but they do provide a lot of interesting information which you can definitely use if you kind of read between the lines. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip real quick. I want you guys to listen, and we're going to take it from here.
Now, more recently, we've seen just steady progress of more wealth advisor adoption, more institutional adoption. It's been a mix of people who it's the first time that they've invested in anything in the crypto space. And then on the other hand, you have lots of people who've been invested in Bitcoin for a long time, and they're taking advantage of the ETP wrapper.
When it comes to the adoption by wealth advisors, I'm curious how far along you think we are in that. Are we in the early innings? Are we in the middle innings? Are we, I don't think we're in the 8th or 9th inning, but, where would you put it at?
Very early. I think that what we've seen is a concerted effort by most of the largest firms to progress through their diligence and their research and their approval process. But as you all know, for new ETFs, it's typically a multi-year journey to get any sort of approval. We've seen that fast-tracked by a number of firms. When we talk about fast-tracking, we're talking about quarters, not months. And slowly but surely, you've seen, I think, an acceleration, particularly in the last couple months, of more notable firms lowering barriers, granting approvals to their advisors to use these. And I think that's obviously set to continue.
Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, if you didn't know, in America and most of the rest of the world, the majority of the wealth, over 80% of the wealth is held by the top 10%, right? So all of the money that's circulating around, top 10%, they're holding about 80%, if not a little bit more than that, which is absolutely insane. And when you look at the US, the number is even higher. The wealth disparity is absolutely massive. Now, why is this a big deal when talking about wealth advisors? Well, as it stands right now, wealth advisors are not able to essentially pitch Bitcoin ETFs and other cryptocurrency ETFs to their clients. This is trillions of dollars that is sitting in the United States and other areas in the world that currently can't buy Bitcoin. But the moment that these approvals happen, which is happening right now, and it starts getting more steam and more mass adoption, yes, there is the potential here for trillions of dollars to eventually come in. And BlackRock's speaking to this because, of course, they offer an ETF. And BlackRock makes money on the volume of that ETF. So they are 100% wanting all these wealth advisors with all of the major banks in the world to take full advantage of this. Because if they can do that, well, it's going to be a lot of money for BlackRock. So in this particular instance, that BlackRock's motive here is, of course, to talk about the growing adoption because they want it to happen. They want people to get excited. They want more people to trade Bitcoin through their ETFs. And yes, those volume numbers in recent times have been going up. The question is, though, why? Why are we seeing so much money flood into Bitcoin? Well, I have a couple different interesting theories. Number one, I think that people's risk tolerance is much more acceptable now of Bitcoin. I mean, the way that Bitcoin is talked about in the media is it is this alternative option for wealth preservation than gold. XRP is an alternative form of currency that you can use that's just in a lot of ways better than fiat, and it's built on a newer system that doesn't have all these outdated rails. And many other cryptocurrencies also fit certain niche categories as well. And so Bitcoin, being this store of wealth, sees a lot more money come into it, and naturally people look for better forms of currency than Bitcoin, which is why we see eventually that money flow down to altcoins, kind of like what we're seeing a bit of today with XRP surpassing 232 per coin, which is obviously very welcome news. We're also seeing, of course, that the SEC chair, Paul Atkins, is saying that they are working on policy to exempt DeFi platforms from regulatory barriers. This is insane. DeFi is not Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is very small when it comes to decentralized finance because you can't really build layer 2s on top of Bitcoin. Yes, there was the ordinal craze, all that kind of stuff, but let's face it, DeFi is talking about Solana, it's talking about XRP. And so the government understands that this is a massive industry that's going to keep expanding and exploding, and they're just going to keep removing the red tape and the barriers so that pretty much anybody can do this. And when somebody builds a platform that is just so easy to use that, you know, can be built on top of the rails that already exist and, you know, people just frankly prefer, well, guess what? Mass adoption will continue to ensue. And there's so many different industries where this can happen. Cross-border payments, payment platforms, you know, decentralized finance, mortgage offerings, real-world assets, you name it. These are all areas that this technology can be used in. And all of these industries that I just mentioned are multi-trillion-dollar industries. So any help on policy is going to be huge. Now, one thing that I talked about a little bit earlier are these billionaires having these falling outs and battles and whatever, and it looks like this is kind of resolved. President Trump says that he's not going to be getting rid of his Tesla or his Starlink, and he wishes Elon Musk well. Elon Musk echoed a similar type of, sentiment after they had their feud. Now, I had a lot of people on X telling me, Levi, this is all theater. This is not real. This is just them battling it out, talking about this stuff. And I honestly kind of believe that now. I think that Donald Trump and Elon Musk probably benefit in a lot of ways from the massive amounts of volatility that happens in the markets almost immediately after, you know, they have a big falling out, as we saw here. We know with the tariffs, it's pretty predictable what happens here, but now it seems like drama is also potentially on the table here as well. I mean, it's no end to the types of different black swan events that we can see. Elon Musk and Donald Trump having a falling out, that's definitely not off the table as well. We can see that Tesla stock surges over 5% as President Trump says he's not going to get rid of his Tesla. So if you did not think that this has no impact on the markets, well, think again. Okay, it looks like Elon Musk is going to be okay. And yes, his stock is definitely benefiting because of it. So yes, I want to talk about the specifics of what's going on with XRP here, because I'm pretty bullish right now. I think that there's a lot of potential here for XRP. What we can see over the last couple of days, XRP has been trending towards being overbought. You can see that on the chart right here. The stochastic RSI is indeed moving up. I will mention, still on the 1 week, we are right here. And yes, we are also trending up, but I do think that we have a long way to go up still. I want to remind you guys of the last time we saw something similar on the daily and weekly, the 4th of November. Look this week right here. That's when we saw some of the biggest weekly candles we've ever seen. 79% right there, 59% right here, 13% right here. Some absolutely insane candles, okay? I think that this is what's coming for XRP. Obviously, nobody has a crystal ball, but I'm hedging my bets. I am going in on XRP, I'm buying, and I'm getting ready for some solid potential price action. And that's precisely what I've been talking about in my Discord. And yes, we just closed another awesome trade across my Discord and my Telegram. I provided the entry, I provided the exit, everything completely transparency in the Discord for everyone to see. This trade was not insanely massive. We were up, as you can see right here on screen, about 8% on this trade. Average entry of 222, close price of 226. We found another entry at about 224. And now we're riding the wave on that one too. We're currently up pretty nicely on that because we just went up to 232. And so I'm getting ready to close another awesome trade anyways. And so if you guys want access to that info for free, well, just click on the website down below and sign up on one of our 2 partnered exchanges, either BTCC or Bitunix. You can choose whichever one you want to be part of. You deposit on the exchange and you submit your exchange user ID in the form, and that's it. you get access to the Discord. I'll email it directly to you, and you can copy my trades. I appreciate all of you guys watching and supporting. If you haven't subscribed to the Levi XRP channel, my brand new channel on YouTube, make sure you do that as well, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.